What if I told you that the Beyond Netero secret child bloodline can be solved entirely within the same room that it was revealed in? Queen Ueto and Prince Wobble. Both of them are the secret. And this revelation will set up one of the greatest twists in the Succession War arc and maybe in all of Hunter x Hunter. The theory is that the secret child of Beyond Netero is not actually a prince, but a queen. Queen Ueto is the daughter of Beyond Netero, making Prince Wobble the granddaughter of Beyond Netero. And from the beginning, I'm telling you, when I first came across this fan theory, I completely dismissed it. I thought it was way out there, it was a reach. I mean, I myself, I'm a Sraidnik is the secret child type of guy, but after reading it and doing my own research and tweaking the theory a bit, I think we might have solved it. So, here it is. The 8th Queen Ueto theory explained. Beyond Netero started infiltrating the Kakin Empire 30 years ago. That was around the same time that the Silent Revolution took place. Beyond would work with some officers in the Kakin Empire, getting them into sham marriages and making those people raise the children of Beyond. Those are the families that raised the secret royal guards that Beyond was grooming. He wanted that silent army to infiltrate the empire within. Those were Longi's parents. And if we can read between the line, some of those people that got into those sham marriages are the parents of Salkov. What I want you to get from this is that this guy was infiltrating the empire and plotting his plan for a really long time. And now we need to take a look at the rulebook. What are the rules to participate in the Succession War? Well, first, you have to be born from an official queen. And you need to keep in mind that King Nasubi is not a loyal guy. He's not loyal to his wives. I mean, this sentence alone is pretty cursed. But I think you get what I'm saying. A messed up empire like Kakin would indulge in lots of festivals that resulted in a lot of... meaning that whenever those carnivals would happen, anyone born from these would be deemed a second-track faker. Someone with royal blood running through them, however, they are not born to an official queen, meaning that they cannot participate in the Succession War. And the second requirement in order to qualify for the throne, we just mentioned it. You need to have royal blood within you. In chapter 349, the text box that explained what are Guardian Spirit Beast says, "A Nen-beast created at the time of death by a powerful desire for perpetuation of one's descendants, possesses someone closely related to the dead." Related. And that is a direct requirement. Yes, the princes do not have to be direct children of Nasubi, but if they don't have royal blood within them, the seed urn will not activate. They will not have a guardian spirit beast. The spirit beast is directly tied to the ancestors of the Kakin Empire. Let's take a look at third Prince Zhangli. He calls the mafia boss of the Ziyu family, Onyong Longbao, father. When this first came out, I remember people saying that he may be calling him father as a sign of respect, you know? He's the father of this mafia family, so it's like Don Corleone, you know? No, that's not what's happening. He called him father because he is his biological father. Yes, this onion had relations with the king's wife, and now Zhangli has both royal blood within him, and he is the son of an official queen. And would you look at that, an Nen-beast manifested for him in the Succession War. The same case can be applied for 7th Prince Lucerys. It's too similar to Zhangli's situation. It's not at all far-fetched to speculate that Lucerys' real father, biological father, is Broccoli. They do look alike, they have the same hair, and with the rules that we just established, it does check out. And the reason I spent a lot of time explaining this is to show that these two conditions have to be met in order to participate in the war. Now let's talk about what do we know about Queen Oeto. She comes from poverty, she has siblings, 5, and she was enchanted by the thought of royalty. She welcomed the idea of getting married to King Nasubi and having his child. And later on, she regretted that. Yes, she wanted to escape poverty, but right now, she just wants to protect her child. Now, is it really far-fetched to say that Beyond orchestrated this marriage? The democratization of Kakin happened around 3 years ago. And just like I said, Beyond infiltrated the empire 30 years ago. We can say with confidence that he was extremely close to King Nasubi around 3 years ago. How old is Queen Oeto? There is no official answer. No, seriously, like you have to come up with this answer yourself. But the majority of Hunter x Hunter fans online, and just by her appearance, we can estimate that she's in her late 20s. So maybe Beyond did the same ordeal with Oeto. The same thing that happened with Longe happened with Oeto. She was groomed and prepared so that one day she will be the wife of King Nasubi. And of course, he did all of that without Oeto's knowledge. And yes, Oeto is innocent in this whole theory. And I do believe that she is innocent. She has no idea what is going on. She genuinely seemed like she does not know anything about Nin. And yes, she was awakened by Kurapika. This all checks out within this theory. And yes, Beyond was able to orchestrate this whole thing to make it seem as natural and as normal as possible for Oeto to get married to King Nasubi. This deranged, arranged marriage that Beyond set up. It works perfectly with the timeline. Isaac Netero had one condition to his son. You cannot go to the Dark Continent as long as I'm alive. Isaac Netero dies. And wouldn't you know it, as soon as he dies, Oeto and the king get together. And a month or so passes and Oeto is pregnant. Now King Nasubi knows that he has the 14 princes in order to start the War of Succession. All that he needs is the vessel that will host this context. And they announce their voyage to the Dark Continent. And keep in mind that there is a time jump between the time of announcement, the voyage to the Dark Continent, and the actual departure. Do you want to guess how long is that time jump? It was 1 year. How old is Wobble? The timing checks out. And there are many more clues sprinkled here and there. But it goes much deeper than that. Of the people in Beyond's Dark Continent expedition team that they were assigned as bodyguard, there were only 3. Kurtan, Sayard, and Bill. Guess what? All 3 of them were assigned to Prince Wobble. Coincidence?
I think not!
And then there is the question of silent majority. Of course, we covered the case of silent majority in its own video. You can check it out after you're done with this video. But take one thing from that case. It really seems that all of the assassinations that occurred, that silent majority committed, somehow helped with Prince Wobble's situation. So if you are in the mind of Beyond Netero and Prince Wobble is your granddaughter, you would think of all sorts of ways in order to protect that kid, including aligning with silent majority. And that would be a satisfying answer. I'm not saying that the silent majority user is Beyond Netero. No, I'm just saying that they are working together. And I have a hunch that the person that Beyond Netero asked to speak with at the end of chapter 401 is related to the silent majority killing. But this part is just a hunch. Now, let's address the question that we've all been asking ever since this war started. Where is Wobble's guardian spirit beast? It's a no-show. In fact, it is the only one that didn't show itself. Why is that? Is it because Wobble is still a baby and doesn't have a sense of self, so basically the guardian spirit beast cannot manifest because there is nothing to base itself off of? No, that's not it. Okay, all the rules have been met. Age and gender are irrelevant. Okay, it should have manifested. But where is it? Maybe it is triggered by a certain condition, kind of like Kacho's Spirit Beast Season of 2 Without You. I mean, she first had to die, or her sister had to die, in order for the Spirit Beast to take shape of the falling prince. I mean, yeah, maybe. But why would it be that type of a nin base? That would be extremely repetitive, and I don't see any condition that would work in Princess Wobble scenario to be met. No, let's rule this possibility out. It doesn't make sense. It just does not work with the story that is being told right now. Some fans think that it's maybe more symbolic than that, and actually Kurapika is the guardian spirit beast, and he will gain some more strength and powers in order to keep the little girl and her mother safe. I definitely see that, okay? I see the meaning that can be derived from that, with Kurapika focusing on saving and protecting and nurturing and leaving his revenge behind. I see it. There's some good things thematically that can come from something like that, so maybe that's not too much of an out there fan theory. But what if I told you I have more compelling evidence and a stronger case on the whereabouts of Wobble's guardian spirit beast? In fact, it's right here. And right here. Also here. And, you guessed it, it is also right here. Let's reread what Longe said to Kurapika and Bill when she was explaining what Bial Netru did. At birth, he awakened his children. They were able to use Nen from birth. And also, he placed a Nen curse within. And as a side effect, they were able to use Nen from birth. And I do not think that Beyond did the same thing with his daughter, Awetu, but I think he did it with Wobble. He awakened Prince Wobble. Do you know what happens if a small child is awakened to Nen? Their survival instinct will kick in. And yes, that is explained multiple times in the story. We could use Nen since we were born. Newborns with Nen instinctively learn Ten and Zets quickly to prevent fatigue. Yes, I do think that Wobble is an awakened child, and they are in a state of Zets. That is why we cannot see their guardian spirit beast. The only time that we caught a glimpse that something is happening, the only time that we saw something since the war started, was that Vum that came out. But as soon as Kurapika turns his head, maybe Wobble broke his state of Zets for a second, just as the guardian spirit beast manifested. The thing that we know for sure 100% is that is aura coming out of that baby. And the thing that I love the most about this theory is that everything related to that theory was explained before in their own part of the story. So it is established as rules in this world. We know for a fact that babies can use Nin and their instinct will act up if they are awakened from birth. And we know when that happened that they go into a state of Zets to prevent fatigue. We know that. That was established as part of the rules in that world. We also know for a fact that Bial Netro infiltrated the Kakin Empire around 30 years ago. And we know that Oetu is around 30 years old. And we know that by using Zets, the spirit beast will disappear. And we know the rules to participate of the succession war. All of these little things that make up this fan theory was explained heavily in the story, so that in the back of our mind we just know that this is just how this world works. So if it was revealed later on that this is what is happening with Prince Wobble and her guardian spirit beast, it wouldn't come as a shock. It wouldn't be just a twist that came out of nowhere. No, it will be completely valid. It would make absolute sense. And you know, for the longest time I thought that Sraidnik is the secret child, but after going through this theory and re-examining the conditions that has to be met in order to participate in the succession war, I have to say that, yeah, Wobble is the better candidate here. Even though there is a lot of visual similarities, even though, yes, this panel is very close to that panel. Yes, I know it's very compelling to just say that this guy, this Sridnik, is the secret child and he is a non-genius, but the whole non-genius thing, it does not have to come directly from the genetics of Isaac Netero. I mean, the whole Kakin Empire bloodline is just the best of Nen users, and it is fueled by post-mortem Nen. It's completely normal for him to be a Nen genius only by the rules of natural selection. But the thing that breaks the Sridnik is the secret child theory has to do with the blood, the royal blood that must be present in order to participate in the succession war. If Sridnik is the secret child of Beyond Netero, and he is his son directly, there is no royal blood. The only way that would work is for Beyond Netero to get it on with some second track faker, and this second track faker has royal blood. So okay, right now we just have to convince an official queen, Unma, to adopt Sridnik as her son. And yes, Unma does not look anything like Sridnik, and this is what really upsets me here, is there is no visual similarities between Queen Unma and Sridnik, and this is why I'm not ruling Sridnik out completely. But that is the only way that this can work in order for Sridnik to be the child of Beyond. Beyond has to have a child with a second track faker and convince Unma to adopt him in order to be her official son. Only after that we can say that this photo, yes, it does hit, and yes, this is the grandchild of the great Isaac Netero. By the way, if we're talking photos here and using panels as evidence and visual clues and a storytelling device in order to give great foreshadowing, well, let's take a look at the very first panel that had all the royals together. All of them are here. Well, all except Wobble. They are standing right behind Beyond. Yeah, doesn't get any more on the nose than that. And yes, this will definitely change the way you look at the story from now on, because indeed the evidence are overwhelming. And now you will understand why Queen Aweto is that important and why there is a lot of focus on her and a lot of character development on her. You will see that they do have similar hair. You will understand the Guardian Spirit Beast situation, silent majority, the whole Nen to newborn info, the timing. Oh, the timing. The timing is just works so perfectly. And of course, the drama. Oh, the drama. Oh, think of the drama that can be birthed from this ordeal. It lines up perfectly with the style of Yoshihiro Togashi. Lange is willing to grant Kurapika a Nen buff, also is willing to grant him a one-time use of her ability. And remember, Kurapika wants that alliance with Prince Tupepe. But what is at stake here? What is the thing that Lange really wants? She wants to be the one to take revenge on her biological father, and she will do that by spoiling his plans. She will do that by killing the secret prince. What if Kurapika agrees to that condition? And it turns out that it was actually Aweto is the daughter and Wobble the granddaughter. How twisted is that? Would Kurapika break the contract, going into a state of forced zets for 1 week just because he breached the contract in order to save Aweto and Wobble? In these circumstances, on the Black Whale, surrounded by psychopath, spiders, mafia, so what will he do? And that is exactly the type of narrative that you would expect from a story like Hunter x Hunter. And I am waiting to learn more. And it is not lost on me at all, the similarities between Lange's desires for revenge and Kurapika's. So maybe Kurapika, after all this time, will be the one who convinces someone like Lange of not going through the same path. In order to know what will happen, I guess we just have to wait. And thankfully, at the moment, we don't have to wait a lot because chapter 411 is right around the corner. So make sure you are subscribed to the Hunter Society for more Hunter x Hunter content to enjoy and more fan theories. You can watch this fan theory right here. I came up with it myself, and you can watch the Silent Majority video from here, and have a good day.